this is Blake Fox from the BF Network. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you doing, Elizabeth?
I'm doing good. Would you mind if I recorded this? Is that alright with you?
No, that's fine.
Alright, so I just have a couple of questions. First off, I would like to thank you for allowing us to have some time with you.
Okay, you're welcome.
So, just a second here. So why did you get into the congressional race? Why did you get into this thing?
I think that running for Congress is about being able to serve people. And most of my life, I've put myself in a position of service. I've been in 3 wars, Vietnam, Beirut, and the First Gulf War. So I've served my country. And now I'm at a point in my life where I want to serve my country again. But in this time in a capacity where it is needed. For example, the 2nd Congressional District is rated the top poorest in the nation, in the United States. And unfortunately, it didn't just happen overnight. We've got leaders who've been in place for 15, 20, 30, 40 years, and they've just watched the community sort of dwindle. And I decided, if I'm going to complain about it, then I should be willing to do something about it. So I understand the Constitution pretty good, and I understand people in my community quite well, and so I decided I'd run for Congress based on the needs of what I looked at in the past and what I can deliver in the future, because I'm a business person.
Yes.
And that's why I decided I'd run.
Well, I want to thank you for your service too.
Thank you.
So, what do you think you can accomplish on the national level for Philadelphia, or the world level for Philadelphia?
Well, let me tell you this about the international level. I have had experience in doing business in a wide variety of countries. And so if you want to look at a little more about my background, you can find that on www.JamesJones, the number 4, Congress2016.com, and you'll find a lot more about my background as well as the issues that I will support. However, I have been involved with international business for 20 plus years, and I've got a tremendous amount of influence in the international business community. So as a congressman, I believe with my influence, I can help to bring business from the international community back into the 2nd Congressional District. And what that means is creating jobs. I believe that since unemployment in particularly the African American community is so high, 26.3% of unemployment in the black community in Philadelphia, 2nd Congressional District. Poverty is at 28.6% in the black community and Hispanic community in Philadelphia, 2nd Congressional District. So if I can be able to use my influence and convince people from the international community that they should come to Philadelphia, then we can be able to make Philadelphia in the 2nd Congressional District such as a research triangle. We can be able to open up not only hospitality, but we can have shipments of goods that are being manufactured here in the 2nd District that we can send out of the community, and that we can change the status quo, because right now there's a lot of crime in that area. People are hungry for jobs and for money, so they're out stealing, and it's wrong. So if we are able to get them working in certain zip codes, that will certainly impact the crime element, drug element, gun use element. And if you look at the statistics
Yeah.
They're they got a lot of money. They got lobbyists who can go out and to support companies like a Comcast or Verizon or the financial industry. But there's no lobbies for the poor people in the district. And that's why I believe I can be the lobbyist for the poor people in the second congressional district.
Yeah. So you mentioned crime a lot in that, and why and unemployment is a big cause of crime. But the police are needed to stop crime in the area, of course, and to keep order. Now Philadelphia just got rid of the 2-year degree limit for police officers, and some of the community members have shown their outrage at police, especially with the Philly is Baltimore march a few years ago, or just last year. How do you plan to keep the community into supporting the police and understanding they're part of the community?
Well, we have to have the police, we got to have law enforcement, and we have to have good community policing. And the operative word is good community policing. Because what happens with good community policing, the community becomes a partner with the police department. The police becomes a partner with the community. So the issue that happened in Baltimore with Freddie Gray, I think it certainly should not have happened the way it did. And I think that the legal system, the Department of Justice, they've investigated it, and they're now prosecuting all of those police officers. But we all know that not all police officers are bad, but they have a job to do, and their job is very dangerous, because when they walk up to you or we're good common citizens. We're not going to break the law. We're not going to harm them. So we can talk to them and not feel fear about it. But if they walk up into certain areas in certain communities, they may not be received as you and I might find them friendly. They might be received as a threat. And if they're received as a threat, for the guys who are going to commit crimes, they're not going to be as cooperative with the police officers as you and I would be. And in addition to that, you talked about guns in the communities. Many of those guns are being used from straw purchases. So often, good people are not going to sell a gun to a criminal. Good people will sell guns like manufacturers or retail stores. They're going to sell a gun to someone that has a legitimate ID card, that has a legitimate means of paying for it, and that they believe, based on their little criminal background check, that this person is going to be a responsible gun owner. There's no way in the world a gun manufacturer can predict the future when they sell a gun. So when we're looking at crime in our community, we have to believe that the police is coming into the community to do a job. And unfortunately, that job comes in the form of violence. The police may not use the proper approach for stop and frisk. And there are times when police officers get shot when they haven't done anything wrong. Not even wrong. Not very long ago, we had a citizen walk up to a police officer who had just drove his way through an intersection, and he hollered or screamed Ali Akbar, and he shoots the police officer for no apparent reason. So that's why there's a heightened fear on the police side, and there's also heightened fear on the community side. So we got to have better community policing, and I think that'll make life a little bit easier for both the community and for the police when it starts to involve crime.
Yeah. So our infrastructure in the area is really on an all-time low. As you know, I-95, I believe it was, had to go through major repairs in '08. In Lower Marion, especially Arbor was just yesterday, you can see that it's falling apart, the train station. Dirtiest streets going through major repairs, the parkways going through major repairs. How do you plan to keep our infrastructure up to date and safe for the community?
Well, I-95 is the main corridor of traffic that runs from the west coast to the east coast. And I-95, unfortunately, we see a lot of I-95 under construction, as you said, since 2008. But I would imagine, I think there's something like 92 million vehicles that passes through each and every year. So the road repairs and the bridge repairs are needed. My belief is that if the Department of Transportation can help provide for structures to upgrade our roads and bridges, then we all will benefit. However, my belief is that we should have a statement, a contract that says, let's hire people from the community who can help to work on these streets, on these Interstate 95 and on the bridges, so that we can start being able to pay our bills as well. And I think that it's important to have a good infrastructure, because what that means that you can have a major company to get their product to market by using all of our interstates. And it's a good thing overall.
Yeah.
I think that having a good working freeway that doesn't have potholes in it, and believe it or not, I have had 4 tires with knots on the side of them since the last winter. Since the winter, December, January, February, March, I've had 4 brand new tires put on my car because of potholes. And I can't necessarily get the state or the DOT to pay for that, but it's got to be done. I got to have a safe car to drive, so I have to replace it. And when they put salt on the roads, it eats the concrete, and it makes it a little bit undrivable. It makes driving a little bit more difficult. So we have to have these maintenance on the freeways, and 995 is just one of those freeways that we're going to have to live with. The maintenance and construction on it on an ongoing basis. Thank God we don't have to pay toll on it going through our communities.
Yeah. So my last question is about the presidential election. You're someone who's done work with the Republican Party for a while now. Will you support the presumptive nominee, Donald Trump?
Well, he's the presumptive nominee at this time, and yes, I will support him. And I believe, as a business person, me personally, I hope that he has good ideas that's going to benefit the entire nation. We have over 365 million people who live in the United States. And his decisions will, as a leader of the free world, will have an impact on all of us to some way, shape, or form. My belief is that if he says something or wants to implement something that I disagree with, or that the constituents in my district disagree with, then I will fight with him, President Trump, as hard as I am fighting to win this seat to represent my diverse community. I believe the community's voice has got to be heard, and it has nothing to do with party politics. It has to do with how hard I'm willing to fight for the people who elect me to office, to go to Washington and to fight for them, to fight for the jobs, to fight for the right to have money to support the police, to fight for lower taxes, to be able to support our community. And that's what I'm willing to do, whether it's a Donald Trump or whether it's a Hillary Clinton or whether it's a Bernie Sanders. I'm willing to fight for the district in my community. And for everyone who elected James Jones, I am your lobbyist. I'm not being paid by anybody, no party, no special interest groups. I'm being hired by the people in this district. I'm a businessman. I know how to bring a business into the community. I've hired more than 200,000 people in my 3 decades of working. I know how to make it work, and I'm looking for the voters to select me as their next candidate. I don't have any junk in my trunk. I've never been arrested. I don't have the issue of corruption in my background, and I will represent this district extremely well, and I hope that you will support me and give me that endorsement that I need from your organization.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate your time, and we wish you the best of luck in your campaign.
Thank you, and I hope this is not the last time that we get a chance to speak.
All right. Hopefully we'll have you on for another time. Good talking to you, James.
Pleasure's mine. And also, can you send to me information on your company, your organization,